Hi and welcome to a slow flow and yin class with embodied movement. We're just going to start with the playlist right away, and my phone is over here charging. The playlist for today is called Slow Flow and Yin. Slow Flow and Yin, and we start with the song Gobinda Gobinda Hari Hari. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you need minimum 2 blocks and a blanket today. If you have a bolster, you can use that. That's really nice. So this is an invitation to arrive in whatever's going on in your body right now. And oftentimes we're outside our body, or we're only in our mind, and it's very limited what's actually going on in our brain, and it's laundry and it's chores, and you're constricted to the argument that you have with your boyfriend, or you just got a fine driving too fast. So we can be caught in the mind and in stressful modes, and I have to do this and that, or yes, worries, or whatever. It can be so much, but it's often like a mind game. And we forget to actually just arrive and ground down, staying fully present in the body and acknowledging what's going on down in the body mind. And oftentimes there can be pain or even an illness that you kind of just drive over it, or you just ignore it, or you go train, or you lie on the couch watching something and you forget to actually, oh my God, I'm sad. Or, oh my God, I have a lot of anger. Or, oh my God, my worries is actually a deep fear of not being good enough, that stems from my mom's always criticizing me, and I just want to cry right now. Or, oh my God, the pain. I have such a pain in my hip, and I never take my time to just be with it. So this is an invitation to just fully arrive in yourself. And I'll be doing some movements and some asana, very sweet and gentle. But if you anytime feel like, oh, this is going to take me into this kind of movement, or this kind of stretch, or I need to shake, or I need to scream, or I need to just get up and step, like run, step fast, get out some anger or whatever, then you do that. So this is free for you. I'm just doing something and you can do it with me. But anytime you can just drop out of it and do your own thing for a while, and then perhaps come back and join me again. So, and I will at a certain point also just be doing my thing, and that's an invitation to do your thing. And my thing is most likely not what you need to do. So yes, we'll start with a meditation and some pranayama. So find a comfortable seat and take a deep breath in and sigh out loud. One more time. And let your seat become a little bit more heavy, so it's like dropping down. And then from your sit bones, try to find that balance point where you are vertical and your crown is going upwards. And just take your time to navigate into that vertical line, and you can shift your seat. So if you feel you're more leaning over to the right, you just kind of navigate in. It's like really fine steering the car into the perfect position in the garage. And allow your shoulders to drop down. And again, here, check them if that's what you need to go do. Or lift them up and drop them down a couple of times. And then notice how you are breathing right now, in this very moment. How's your breath? And now deepen your breath and breathe in and out through your nose. And then count to 4, 6, or 8. And make your inhale just as long as your exhale. So you inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you continue. And if 4 is better for you, or 8, then do that. 2 more times with the counting. And then we're going to do a mantra where you inhale, I arrive, and exhale, I am home. And feel free to use your spiritual hands as to guide the energy that is yours. Invite your soul to come back home into your body. Invite the forgotten pieces or the lost pieces of your soul to come back into your body and settle down, come home. So you inhale, I arrive, and exhale, I'm home. And notice if you have tingly sensations or you get chills or you all of a sudden get really warm. As you call yourself into your body and you arrive in your body and you invite your soul to come back home, stay in your body. Feel what's going on. Maybe you get nauseous. Maybe it can feel like a dark cloak coming closer behind you. And like an embrace just holding you, but not entering. Just notice everything that goes on. Inhale, I arrive. Exhale, I'm home. Two more times with the mantra. And then let the mantra go. Let the breath go. And if your body starts to move and wants to move, then do that. And if your body wants to sit in meditation and integrate and feel, then do that. And I'm going to invite you to come to a seated cross-legged. And if you're in your free movement and your free flow, you just stay there with that. Otherwise, you can come into a seated position, cross-legged with your legs in front of you, and grab your knees and start to move your spine up and down. And I'm just going to let you do that in your own pace. And it can be really slow where you arrive. Curved, opening up the back side of your spine. And then the inhale, rolling up and opening up the front side of your spine. Opening up your heart, getting your shoulders down. And some of you might just want to free flow here. Both circle and do wave motions up and down. And then you do that. Get your breath along. Inhale when you go upwards and exhale when you go downwards. Inhale upwards and exhale downwards. And you can change your feet and put the other leg in front and just keep moving here in whatever way your spine wants to move. In waves or circular or diagonal. Slow or faster, it's up to you. And then we get ready to come up and sit a bit more straight. And still cross-legged or foot in front of foot. And place your hands on your thighs and gently just push the legs down. It's like tipping here, back and forward. And then you push one leg away from yourself. And just stay here and breathe. And listen to that right hip or the right pelvic half. Slow down your breath. Relax the jaw. And then you tip over to the other side and say hello to the left hip. And come back to center and change your feet and the other foot in front. And then again, you push the right hip away from yourself. And then the left hip. And then you go in free flow from here. What is it that your body wants and needs? How does it want to move? Does your body want to show you something? Then you can always, turn up the music a bit and open up the pores of your skin and let the music pour in. And perhaps you want to get your arms along and do some movement with your arms. Just do a couple of more breaths here with your free flow and your free movement. And then you find a stable position. You take your right hand straight from the hip, straight to the floor. Get the shoulder back. So you free the collarbone and open up the chest, and you take the left arm up. Swipe your left arm up and you really stretch and see if you can turn your nose upwards. And slowly extend that left side. Lengthen the rib cage. And inhale, come up and circle that left arm. And take the arm behind yourself onto the floor. Crossover with the right. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, twist around. And exhale, come back to your center and swap the feet around. Take the other foot in front. Now left hand straight up from the hip, shoulder back, long collarbone. If you bend the elbow is bent in towards the hip, not backwards, but in towards the hip. And then swipe that right arm up. And see if you can turn your nose upwards. Really like push the left side in to extend the right side. And inhale, come up. And I think I'm warm enough now to take off this sweater jacket thing. Now extend your legs, both of them, to the side. And this is where it's good with minimum 2 blocks, because I know many of you need it under the knees. And lift up the muscles in your seat. And first you just tip here back and forward. And that can be very nice with the hands behind you to kind of tip here. And you flex your feet so you have the heels down. And when you move here, it's like the hip is moving over the femur bone. So your legs are kind of locked, and then the hip socket is moving around, round, round, massaging inside, warming up the synovial fluid, making it liquid and nice and warm. You know, when you get like honey and you put it in the fridge and it becomes so hard, like so hard, you cannot put it on the bread. It's impossible. It's just like so hard. So this synovial fluid can become so stiff that you can't really move, and it can feel kind of painful, as if there's nothing there. It can also disappear, but often it can be really hard. And when we do this movement here, it's kind of warming up from the inside. It's like taking that honey out from the fridge and put it on the kitchen table. And you know, you have to leave it there for a while for it to slowly warm up. And it's a little bit the same like our fascia and the liquid we have in our joints. And especially if we are older or if we've been very hyperbendy in our lives, this can happen to us. And you can start to sway here from side to side. Another way of warming up and meeting the hip joints. And of course, you can always go free flow. Do whatever you want to here. I'm just going to invite you to move a little bit more forward. And if it feels good for you today, do some waves up and down with the spine. And this is where it's good with 4 blocks, because then you can keep the blocks under your knees and then also half blocks under your hands. So you have a better range of movement, can move bigger. Exhale down, inhale up. Two more. And then come down and find somewhere where you can rest. If you are like me, I like to move a little bit and keep the shake going on. It's like when you have a nail stuck in a wall and you can't get the nail out. You kind of have to like up and down, around and round, and up and down, around and round to get it out. So this can feel a bit the same. And you just continue to do that if you want, or lie down and rest. Using blocks or bolsters. Two more breaths. And slowly come up. And find your way onto your tummy. Yes. And good way, I see. Get your elbows under your shoulders, and then you just shake your bum a little bit. Roll the shoulders away from your ears so your arms are semi-active. Just shake your bum a little bit more, a little bit more. And come to a halt. And then spread your fingers, index finger, pi finger, straight forward, and then lift up the elbows up and down a little bit and a little bit. Now, most of you, and I also would advise you to do that, to tighten your bum a little bit. So you just lift up a little bit. Some of you can't do that, and that's fine. You know, this is embodied flow. This is you doing your thing. Then you really need to do what you can do, yeah? But it's like pushing the mat away from yourself with your hands and squeezing your bum a little bit and going up and down here. And then perhaps stay up if you can. And some of you may be able to move even closer and come into seal. Just roll the shoulders away from your ears. Long neck. And move your nose from side to side. Either way, if you're down in your Sphinx pose, you move your head from side to side. There must be a little bit of engagement in the tummy. So the tummy helps to lift up. You move your head from side to side, keeping the body still. Two more each side. And some of you may want to go a little bit lower down now. Put your elbows down. You had enough. And then you take your chin down to your chest. And then keep the chin and roll it up. Chin in and down. Chin in and up. So you keep the chin in when you go down, but also when you go up. So it's not the wave here. It's keeping the chin in, rolling up and down. And notice how that affects your neck, the vertebrae in your neck and your spine. One last time, up and down. And then come down to rest. And here you can have your hand under your head if you need a little bit of space for your nose. But try to keep the neck straight and just relax. One last deep breath. And then come up to all fours. And you want to take your knees out to the edge of the mat with big toes together. When you're up on all fours, knees down into the mat and hands into the mat. And you circle one arm. And it doesn't matter how the arm goes. And exhale, hand or bum down to the heels. Inhale up and circle the other arm. Exhale down, bum to heel. Inhale up on all fours, circle the other arm. And here the invitation is move your spine as feels good. Move the arm as feels good. Move how your body is asking you to move. I need to move like this. It might be something saying, oh, this hurts, so be gentle with me. Do it slower and more gentle on one side. The inhale is when you go up. And the exhale is when you go down. And anytime, you drop into that free movement, and you can do whatever you want to. Perhaps your spine and your sacrum is asking you to do something else. Then you do that. 4 more breaths. Now I'm gonna put a blanket under my left knee and go into dragon. So put your right foot forward. Find your blocks or the bolster on the inside of your foot. And your front foot is 0 degrees, toes pointing forward. And you just tip here, and you may want to stir or shake, or you may want to, you can lock the ankle and move the knee in and out, in and out. Or you tip and straighten out the front leg, and go your free movement here as well. When you're ready, and if you get ready, you find somewhere to rest here in dragon. You can use the bolster, or you can use the blocks. I really recommend having that blanket under the back leg there. Slow down your breath. And of course, you can always do the free movement. Four more breaths. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Get out of it your way. Ooh. Ah. And we switch swap over, switch over to the other side. Left foot to the front, 0 degrees in the foot. The bolster is on the inside of your foot. The heel is under the knee. And again, you start to move here in whatever way can lubricate or both of your hips. You maybe need to stir a little bit, as if you're stirring a pot or you're stirring porridge. Maybe you need to shake it like a rattle. And some of you need a little bit more free movement, and others are ready to find that place of stillness. You can, of course, always just stir a bit. Zero degrees in the front foot. Just keep your entire foot into the mat. Four more breaths. Holy fucking shit. Oh my god. uh, uh, uh. Get out of it. Somehow. Mm. And then come to, we're gonna go and sit, but you're gonna use your 2 blocks and create some space between your feet and roll out the calf. You roll out the calf. And take the 2 blocks between your heels. And you sit on it. And your heels and your feet are outside of your seat. Yeah? And then you take your hands down to the mat in front of you and slowly just sink up and down. And we start with the 2 blocks. And you engage your feet a little bit so they're straight, not an L shape, not crooked or turning inwards, but straight. And the heel is up. And you just lower yourself up and down here. And you can continue doing this with 2 blocks, or move 1 block and do it with 1. And notice if you start to shift shape, so you put more weight into one leg than the other. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep equal weight in your feet and same amount of bendiness in your knees, and take the block back up. So you have 2. You sink up and down. I know most people, they really need that 1 block. And a lot of people need 2. A few can remove the blocks completely. That's not very common. But if you can, you remove. And this is not really about a static position. We're not going to go into a static position here. It's lubricating the knee joints. It's also affecting the inward rotation of our hip joints. And it's creating flexibility in our ankles. You can continue moving up and down, or you can just settle down into seated positions just for a couple of breaths. On 1 block, or 2 blocks, or straight on the floor. Good. And come up, and then you can stretch the knee joints out 1 at a time, or a downward dog, or some free movement. Okay, we're gonna go into our last pose, and we're gonna scroll the music in the playlist forward. You are gonna go to Albatross, Fleetwood Mac, of course. Albatross. 1, 2, 3. And you take that one block flat between your shoulder blades. The neck is free. You have no block under the neck. It's between the shoulder blades and it's flat. And the other block, some of you need another block under the head. Just make sure that you have a flat block just behind the sternum, your chest, and the neck is free. There's no block under the neck. Feet together, open hips. And here it's so good if you have those 4 blocks, because then you can use blocks under the legs as well. If you had enough with your hips today, you straighten out the legs. Just keep your legs straight. Now, many of you just need a block under the head as well. Shoulder blades beneath you, palms up. Now it's a good time to put that blanket on top of you. Take a deep breath in and sigh out loud. One more time. Allow the hips to open up and relax. And if they can't relax, put something under your legs so your hips can fully let go, open up. Is there a message for you in your hips? Let your chest breathe in. As if the breath comes from your chest. The chest breathes in. And the chest lets out air. Let the chest exhale. And let the chest inhale. Drop down your shoulders. Drop your shoulders down. Let your heart inhale. Let your heart exhale. And let your skull become so heavy that it feels like it's sinking through the floor. Five times. Inhale, I arrive. And exhale, I'm home. And after the 5 times, just let go of your voice. Let go of the voice and swim with whatever is alive in your body. You can roll into your savasana if you want. You just come to the side. And you can take your time to wake up. Or take another 5 minutes in samasana. Thank you for joining me.
Namaste.